Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to issue 111 of the Terminator Build the T-800 from Hachette and Studio Canal. This issue is another one of the, we've done this before, but we're going to do it again issues, but with a slight twist, a slight difference. We've got two bulbs, two lights to put, which we're going to be building, and then later installing them onto the base. The magazine, as ever with the Terminator build, starts with the build, so we shall get straight into that and then come back and see what the rest of the magazine is all about. Now, it says in step 1 to check the two LEDs, because one of them has a red light on it and one of them isn't. Now, I can you probably can see the center of that has a little dot in it. The center of that does not have a little dot in it. Basically, that means that this is the red one. Other than that, the wire is slightly longer, and it does say, as a pro expert tip, to make it easier to distinguish the red LED, wrap a small piece of masking tape around the cable close to the connector. So yes, I haven't got a piece of masking tape to hand. It'd have to mean rummaging through the drawers. So what I am going to do is use the wire that I've just taken off of the cable, and I shall wrap that around the wire, just to differentiate it from the other. So there we go. Now we know that that's the one with the red light on it, and that was the one that doesn't have the red light on it. It's quite easy. Even I can understand that. And when I forget, I can come back to the video and look again and be aware of it. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't actually help. Right, step 2, we're basically stretching the cables out. Step 3, we're putting it into there. Yes, once again, we're doing this a little bit different to how it was in the magazine. I'm going to separate that to there. This is the parts we're dealing with the first one. Let's open the packet. Get all the bolts and screws out that we're not going to be using quite yet. So, does it say to do the red? It says do the red one first, so I'll put that to one side. Now, this, they've already popped the lens in the front there, which is fine. It doesn't need to be separate. So this is going into there in one way, doesn't it? It goes in like that, and that sort of wraps around the back. So it goes in there, but then you can't put it down because it just pops out. So we're putting that in there, and then we're using this to hold it in place. A bit like that, but not quite, because I haven't got it the right way round, and that wire needs to come through the middle. So let's do the wire through the middle bit first. I've got it stuck in there now. Right, so the wire needs to go through the centerpiece there and comes out. That's the first bit I needed to do. I knew there was something to do first, but I couldn't remember what it was. Then the bulb obviously goes in that bit. Sits in place behind 3 little ledges, so that's all as that should be. Then the wire needs to bend up and come up the back and go into there. So you've got to get that the right way round, so the 4 of those line up with the screws and the screw holes, and then we're going to use 4 of these screws to hold it in place. I conveniently picked up a screwdriver that's not magnetic. Let me grab another one that might be, and we'll see. I shall use the screwdriver from my Enterprise build, because it's the one I've got to hand that I know is magnetic. I haven't opened my big box of screwdriver parts for this build, because I didn't think there's going to be very much in the way of screwing it in, but there is more than I thought, but not enough to make it worth my while to pause and go and get it and do anything like that. So we're putting in 4 screws into there. Now you may notice, and obviously be aware, if you've watched any of my previous videos that involve any screws at all, I'm not putting them in tight yet. I'm putting them in nice and loose to make sure it all lines up, everything sits where it should. And then I can come back and tighten them up momentarily. So that can go in there, that one goes in there, that one goes in there, and that one goes in there. Now, the next step is to take this piece, again, feeding the wire through, and then locating that in position over there. We have room for a nut on that side, like that. There we go. In there. And then on the other side, the long screw goes in through the middle bit. If I've lined it up well, just like that. Look, I lined it up just right and it's gone in there nicely. Then that tightens down. You can feel it tightening down into the nut, which gives us a movable base there, but not floppy. You don't want it floppy, you want it to move just that little bit. So this is the red one because it's got the bit around the end. So that's that, and that's half of the stage complete. The next half of the stage is exactly the same again with the other one. So let's get straight on and do that without even thinking too hard about it. That goes through there. I'm not even going to look at the instructions for this. That's how confident I am in my ability to do again what I've just done 10 seconds ago. So that's going to go on there, that's going to go in there, that's going to go around there like that. Getting tricky. I'm going to have that way around. I can't find the screws now, but that's not a lack of instructions, that's just a lack of me. I think that middle bit slipped just a tad and a touch, both in the same word at the same time, but different. So where's that going to line up? It is there. That goes there. Screws. Again, dropped in place. Not quite lined up because I can't feel it locating and screwing in anywhere. So let's just rotate it a bit and feel that felt better. That felt like that locked down. Yeah, that's going in there. So I put one in there. Probably they're all matched up together. So I just want to entice one over there. Put that in the other side. A bit like that, but better. Again, magnetic screwdrivers are lovely and also a complete pain because sometimes they put things in the wrong places. It's not my fault, it's the screwdriver's fault. Nothing to do with me. 2 more of those needed for that, but one at a time. So that it's because I've not done very much of this at the moment. I've not done any screws at all up. It's been a long time since I put any screws in anything, apart from having just done lots of them a minute ago. So yeah, right, that's that one, and the last one over here. Oh, come on. I didn't want this video to be too short, you see, so that's why I'm deliberately making it look worse than it really is. Just to make you all feel better about yourselves when you put it together without any trouble at all. There we go, that's that. Tightened up in there. Tighten round, tighten that side, and the last one. That's that, right? The last part, popping that through there again, all the way down to locate over there. Nut in the nut hole, or drop it and then put it in the nut hole again. Is probably the best way of doing it. Screw to go in and through. Have I lined this one up properly? I think I might have actually. That feels like that's gone through almost as far. Yeah, there you go. I can feel that tightening up into the nut on the other side. So again, just put it in tight enough that holds without it actually locking up, so that can move a bit. Make sure the lenses are all the way down, just in case they weren't when they came, but they seem to be. A couple of spare screws, I shall put them out of the way, and that is built today. That's the red one, remember, the red one. So that's that. Those two ready to be put into the base, but before that happens, we'll have a look at the rest of the magazine. Now, I deliberately didn't put picture-in-picture of the second stage because it's exactly the same as the first stage, so I didn't bother doing that. But the stage complete, you can see, look, that's what that is. Look, it's them, like that. There we go. Right, the sci-fi legend Gemini Man. I haven't seen that yet. I do quite like Will Smith films, so I'm sure I will watch it at some point when it becomes available on one of the streaming services. So there we go. Quite good. I won't read that because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah. Degrees of separation? Cloning, maybe? No, just looking at twins. Okay, that's all right. Fair enough. They're not really twins, though, are they? They're different ages, so I don't know how that works in the film. And that's that. Right, next week, we will be back indeed next time with another base piece, the third base piece, making it even bigger and uncomfortable. a bit of spine, a bit of jaw, and a bit of rock by the looks of it, as well as another pin to mount it onto the remaining 2 that we still got. So that's that. Thank you very much for watching. That was episode 111. I shall see you soon for 112. It should be tomorrow, but it might be a couple of days. We'll see. I'll see you soon for that. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.